Welcome to Soul Alive Embodiment Series, day 2 of 3. I am so excited that you're here. I'm so excited to have this conversation. And I said yesterday, if you didn't listen to day 1 or didn't watch it, you can listen to it on Sacred Whisper podcast, all platforms, or you can be on my Instagram. I will have all 3 of them there for you so you can watch back. Make sure you slide into my DMs. Let me know what your favorite aha moments, your takeaways were, and come into the comments and let me know. Like, we had some really deep conversations around intentionality, around it's just if we don't put in the aligned actions in the embodiment, it's just like oh, I needed to hear that. But like, what are you doing about it? And I say this actually, we get a little unhinged on TikTok. And I say this all the time. I'm like, okay, great. I'm so glad you needed to hear that. Yes, that landed. Yes, you asked spirit for a sign, and here it is, like with the message that you needed to receive. That's like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that. Great. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And I love to ask myself that question. It's not just me like lovingly being like, hey, knock, knock. But also, it's like, I love to ask myself, I'm like, great. I needed that sign, or I got full body chills. And I'm like, cool. What am I going to do about it? What's the message? What's the aligned if is there an aligned action? What is that? And go do it. So today I want to talk to you about what I kind of left you hanging with on day 1, which was a coffee bean energy. And we're also going to talk about, you guys, I have my notes. Otherwise I'll be all over the place. Also, looking at mindset versus mileage. And I also want to challenge you to saying, I never could or I can't. I've been seeing this quite a bit, and I'm like, that's actually not true. Because when you say that now, you're automatically limiting your future self from being able to do those things, right? It's like taking out the possibility, the potential, and the play, and then get into aligned action of your goals. And then what are you claiming? So let's dive in. So, first things first. Also, I'm sitting outside. My neighbors, like, I could see there's a Disney princess, like, bouncy house. Oh my gosh, they have a little girl, so cute. And, like, doggies outside. My dog's playing. So, this is just real life. I'm not going inside because it's super nice out right now. So, we'll just roll with, like, normal human things going on. Okay, so coffee bean energy. This is actually a concept that is taught by Damon West. Highly recommend going and checking out his book. I actually got the opportunity and the honor to listen to him live at our Growth Day event last weekend. And holy cow, like, I've heard of this before. Wasn't a new concept to me, but for some reason it just landed. Have you ever had those moments, and come into the comments or my DMs and let me know? Like, have you ever had those situations happen where it was like, for whatever reason, this just landed? It's not the first time I've heard this, and now it landed. And I love those moments so much because there's something within you that is ready. She be ready for whatever it is that had just landed for you to integrate now. And so the idea of the coffee bean, I don't want to like go full detail. Go check out Damon West, go read his book. It was co-written with John Gordon, I think, who, yeah, just go check it out. So, okay. The being the coffee bean energy is like when you're put in hot water, the concept is, are you like, you could be the carrot, the egg, or the coffee bean. And again, this is not my concept, this is his, so full credit. When you put a carrot into hot boiling water, what do you get? What happens to the carrot? It softens. It's weaker, right? When you put an egg into boiling water, what happens? The inside hardens. Like the heartbeat hardens. When you put a coffee bean into boiling water or hot, like, let's just say boiling water, what happens? Hello, we get coffee. Even if you're not I'm a coffee snob. I am not a Starbucks girly, so but I, like, just love my coffee, but that aside, it literally changes everything around it. It infuses itself into its surroundings. And let's be honest, even if you don't like coffee, I think it's safe to say that a huge majority of the population does enjoy coffee. And so it does bring that joy, right? And so I had this realization, and I've known this. We moved to San Antonio. We got here March 2nd, 2024. I never fucking wanted to be here. Real talk. In fact, 2 weeks before we found out we were coming to San Antonio, and I've told this story before, but I was at like a little I was a chaperone at my kid's school, like, for one of their field trips. And one of his, Colin's classmates was getting ready to move, and so I turned to his dad, and I was like, "Oh, where are you guys heading?" And he's like, "San Antonio, we're going back to Texas." I'm like, "Going back to Texas?" I was like, "Ooh, that's one place I never wanna live." I just had my mind made up about this place, and here's the thing, Matt has been active duty Air Force for 18 years. We've lived in a lot of places, we've seen a lot of things, we've met a lot of really amazing people, and after we loved being in Florida, that was our first duty station. When we were in Idaho, I mean, a lot of crazy things happened in the 2 years that we were there, but as soon as we could get out of that area, we were like, "Peace out, we're gone, I don't wanna be here." And it was, like, a pretty extreme everywhere we've gone is very extreme. It's not like, "Oh, let's move from, like, one seasonal state to another." No, it's like Iowa, Florida, Idaho, Arizona, South Dakota, Texas, husband spent a year, like, just over a year in Korea, like, it's all been very extreme. And, like, I see you, universe. I see you. I see what you're doing here, right? It's like forced growth, right? And after we were stationed, like, we make the best of every duty station, truly we do. And in Idaho, we did our best, right? And we just decided that even though we hated it there, like, we were going to do like, take it like, meet the edge, push against the edges even more on really making the best of any duty station that we go to. And so when we found out that he was chosen for this position that he was voluntold to apply for, I was like, "I know you have it in the bag." And when we were told he was chosen for it, I was like, "Okay, we're going to Texas. We're gonna make the best of it." We have an amazing house. It's so beautiful. We live in a beautiful neighborhood with very supportive people. We have an amazing HOA. Like, it blows my mind that people are like, "Ah, I don't wanna pay the HOA fees, like, it's so much." And I'm like, "Dude, we have a fucking lazy river. We have 2 pools." Like, we now have a pickleball court, a basketball court, 2 pools. Both of them have slides. One of them has a splash pad and a lazy river. I'm like, Excuse me while I go live my best summer life." BRB. And I just have had a really hard time landing my feet. Extreme changes. I didn't wanna leave a place where my oldest son was very supportive with his mental health and wellness needs, and that we absolutely love that area. I would move back in a heartbeat. I we also my husband's schedule, he works a lot. Most of the time, he works 6 and 1, 6 days on, 1 day off. Schedule's kind of all over the place. And, it makes it for not a lot of family time. And and so, and it's a city. I'm not a city girl. I'm a mountain girl. I'm a nature girl. And so, I just like have really had a hard time landing my feet. And I realized, so I was kind of circling back to the coffee bean energy when he was talking about this, and I was just crying with how he was telling this story. And I'm like, realizing that, and this was day one, I was realizing that I was not the coffee bean, and normally I am. And I literally was doing my best, but I was like, I don't know how often I would say, "I hate Texas. I hate being here. I don't wanna be here." And I'm like 4 years of, being here, and I'm like, now maybe something might change and I might actually really enjoy it. But I'm like, and I just realized I had let I had gotten in boiling water and I let it change me instead of me infusing the energy around me. And I'm showing up, I'm doing my own inner work. We had something pretty traumatic happen in December. I had been in therapy just prior to that, so I'm supported. I have a coach and I'm still showing up. I'm like embodied in my own work. And also I was like, man, how many times have I said I hate it here and can't wait to get out instead of and letting the external circumstances inflict on my internal state versus my choosing my internal state and getting in the hot water and allowing myself to just infuse the energy around me. And so that was such an eye-opening moment. And I kept telling people, I'm not from, on day one, I was like, I'm not from Texas. I live in Texas because I'm not from Texas. And but I was saying it in a way of I don't want to be here. But then the more I talked to people and the more things changed over even by the end of that first day, I was like, yeah, I'm not from here, but I live here right now. And it became more optimistic. It became more let me see the beauty. This was the first time I had been to Austin, Texas, and I freaking loved it. It was absolutely beautiful. And I love the energy, the vibe. And Texas always gets a bad rap from let me say that differently. Austin always gets a bad rap from other Texans, but I'm like, the energy is so light there. I don't care about anything else. It's an energy. You can feel it. People are happy. And I'm like, it's crazy. And it wasn't just the people that I was around, it was everyone. And I was like, okay, I just I know I need to get out of my immediate surroundings more, but I'm like, okay, I can see this. And I started allowing myself to see things differently. And this was a huge shift. And this was one I was really excited to implement. I'm like, okay, I'm here. My feet have officially landed. And I am going to infuse and choose my internal state with even more intentionality. You guys, this is embodiment. This is the essence of embodiment. Okay, so what is the coffee bean energy? Again, go read his book, go find it on Amazon or Audible, whatever is your vibe. And yeah, I always say I want to sit down and read a book. It's not true. I would rather listen as I'm moving because I like to be in motion. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So the coffee bean energy is number one, the body language. How is it that you're showing up? Sometimes I'm just laid back and chill, but even on the our evolution membership call a couple days ago, I was I was on my adult beanbag chair. I'm like, yes, I'm coaching. And when I am coaching, I'm very present, but a lot of it is women connecting. We call it our sister circles because we need this in our lives. And and they help me co-create this space where we get on and, how's everything going? What is it that you need support with? And then move from there. But I'm on my beanbag chair and I'm having this conversation with them. So there are times where I'm leaned back and there are other times where I'm leaned in. And it really depends on what situation that I'm in. But it's an internal state and how you are showing up every single day. It is a decision. Now, what I'm not talking about is if you have been through some trauma, big T, little t, or grief or anything of that nature where you're needing therapy, please go get that support. I highly recommend rapid resolution therapy. We'll always recommend that. Go to their website, find someone who is a specialist and get in and let yourself be supported. What I am talking about is most of the time, each day, we do have a decision. We can choose joy. We can choose our state. It doesn't mean that, something happens and you kind of you're oh, let me come back to it. So on day one, and go listen to it. If you haven't listened to it, I showed you something you can do in 2 minutes to literally change your state. It didn't even have to take 2 minutes. I just guided it in probably about 2 minutes. And it's so easy to do. It's deep breaths. I'm not going to guide you through it. Go listen to it, okay? But it's so easy. And it literally floods your body with what it is the state you desire to be in. But what is your body language? shoulders back, chin up, chest out. Like, check your posture. What's your face doing? I have a natural RBF. And so, but recently I'm like, okay, but what if I put like a slight smile on my face as my internal state was shifting and just held that there instead of walking around with my perma RBF? That's just my face. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm not mad at anybody. It just is what it is, right? And so checking your posture, your body language. And then the second thing when it comes to that coffee bean energy is working on yourself every single day. This can be also spiritually. Now, whether it's God, source, universe, angels, God, loved ones, like connecting with your higher self, your higher power every day, your spiritual practice, meditation, journaling, checking in on you, working on yourself, listening to an uplifting podcast. Hey, hi, hello, Sacred Whisper is a whole vibe, if I do say so myself. And also, you can find a podcast of somebody that really lights you up, really feels uplifting. Get into or even like an audiobook or reading a book, like just allowing yourself to work on you. As healers, new moon and full moon rituals. I'm like, if you're not doing self-care in some capacity daily, we've got to shift that, because you do have 10 minutes a day to meditate. And also I'm like, make the new moon and the full moon, which I'm pretty sure today is the full moon. Now that I'm saying that, I think it's actually tonight. So making your new moon and full moon like actual rituals where you're like, what is it that I'm calling in? Do a self oracle or tarot reading. If you like candle magic, do some candle magic. Same thing with new moon. What is it that you are calling in? Do your oracle or tarot reading. Choose crystals, take a bath, do a meditation, like make it a whole thing, like get bougie with it. Day of, 2 days prior, 2 days after is the most potent time, and there's not a bad time to ever do this. So work on you. And then the 13th thing would be to serve others. How can you be of service to others? Because we can't be of service to others when we are not service to ourselves. This is why this is before, right? So allowing yourself the opportunity to shift internally and then show up for others. And I said this yesterday before I got on this live, I actually took a walk in my neighborhood. It ended up being a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but I went ahead and I took a walk. I was like, kind of like having some questions in my mind about certain things and like orders of things or whatever. And so I got in community and I was like, let me talk this out for a second. This morning I journaled and I listened to some audios and uplifted. And then I came on here. Me first. You first. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is this. Gauging what you have on mindset versus mileage. When this was actually said by Brendan Burchard at the event. And I was just like, gauge what you have based on mindset versus mileage. Where you're going isn't based on everything you've been through. It's based off of the mindset that you are choosing, the energy that you're the energy that you are choosing, the intention that you are choosing as you move forward. What is the mindset that you're choosing? Choosing to, again, work on you, choosing to be in the energy of your vision, choosing to be in the embodiment of future self now, coming back to her, coming back to her, coming back to her, making decisions not based on you right now, but making decisions like check in with future self. Maybe it's future self next year. Maybe it's future self in 5 years. Maybe it's 70-year-old future self. Check in with her and see, okay, is this a decision that would feel good to have made for my future self? And check in on that. And I said this at the beginning too. I've noticed a lot of, I just can't, or there's no way that can happen. And I'm like, is true? Is that actually true? I don't think so. And even if it's not in alignment right now, it absolutely can be a possibility in the future. So if you are saying there's no way I can make XYZ happen at like I just can't because XYZ, it's just not even a possibility for me. And I'm like, it might not be a possibility for you right now, but it absolutely can be a possibility for you maybe even 6 months from now, maybe even a few years from now. But if you're saying can't, I just can't, it's not a possibility for me, then you are taking out that from what could be instead of living in curiosity and play, possibility and potential. And so it might not be in alignment. And again, yesterday we talked about this, and I did an IG reel as well on this too. Sometimes when we check in with ourselves to make a decision, you're like, actually, I feel at peace with this decision. That decision that feels at peace, is it actually because it's in alignment, or is it actually because your subconscious mind is deeming where you are as safe? Because sometimes making a decision, this is not every time, but sometimes making a decision feels freaking uncomfortable and it expands your nervous system, but it will change your life. And so really get clear on that. So go listen to day 1. Okay, the next one is get into action on your goals. This is aligned action. Look, you worked on you. You're gauging where you're going based on your mindset, what's in here, what you're working on, your vision, your intention. Now taking aligned action and getting into action. Sometimes we spend so much in the masculine and then we swing over to the feminine. And what I want to invite you to do is allow that pendulum to come to a harmonization, I don't like the word balance. I think balance is bullshit. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. But let it come into harmonization where sometimes, yes, you're more in the feminine, sometimes you're more in the masculine. And we just get to have this ebb and flow where I'm like, oh, I'm receiving these downloads. I've received these hits, the aha moments, the synchronicity, something I needed to hear with the aligned action. Now go take the action. Go take the aligned action, whether it's making a decision that might feel uncomfortable, but you're going to do it anyway. Whether it is something you need to do inside of your business. Maybe it's like, my action is getting the hell out of the healer closet, the broom closet, and closing the mother effing door. Slam it. And start showing up online in your power and in that confidence and that conviction and letting the proof stack in your favor as to how things are actually working out for you. I heard something today which I found very fascinating. There's a small, I can't remember what, I'm like sitting here trying to think what was the percentage. It's like, I don't even know if it's like 1%. It might be like 1%. I want to say 10, but I don't even think it was that. It might have been 1%. Now I'm going to have to go back and listen. I'm just going to say 1%, but it might be anywhere between 1 and 10. Sorry, I don't exactly remember. Okay, so 1% of the population are going to be the ones that like show up and are the haters. They're the ones that have shit to say. They're the ones that are judging what you're doing, how you're living your life, what your belief systems are. This is normal. About 80% of the population has no idea who we are. They wouldn't know your face from Joe Schmo, right? And then the rest of the population are cheering you on. They want to see you win. They're excited about what you have to give. Even if you're not fully connected with those souls yet, you will be. The only way you will be is if you take aligned action and you bet on you and you choose you. And through that aligned action. Okay? Okay. The next is, what are you claiming? What are you claiming? When was the last time that you got super clear on what it is that you desire? What your life is? And I know we're really good at manifesting and know we're really good at like intention setting and vision casting, right? And also, when was the last time that you got really clear on what it is that you're claiming, but not just what you're claiming, how it feels? When was the last time? And what I want to ask you is, can you name that feeling? And if you can name that feeling, when was the last time that you intentionally activated that feeling? And if you're okay, now that you know that, how often? What's the frequency of it? How often are you doing it? Because if it's not multiple times a day that you are choosing that feeling you desire to feel in, like, I feel like this is such a game changer, and I want to challenge you to do this. It takes like 60 seconds. Everybody has like 3 minutes a day to do this morning, afternoon, and evening. Unless it's like, I want to feel like excited and like energized, like maybe not do that before bed. But it's like, what do you want to feel and activate it? And not just once in a while, daily. And not just daily, multiple times a day. 60 seconds is a game changer. I have reminders set on my phone just to like come up for like sometimes I'll just get in a flow and I'll be like, oh, I need to stand up though. I'm already noticing because I've been integrating that I am embodying that on checking in on myself at a even deeper level with more intentionality over this past week. I'm noticing, I'm like, oh, I need to get up. I can feel it. And I'm like, great, let's reset our energy. Let's take 5 minutes to reset my energy. Let me take 10 minutes to go for a walk and reset because I'm going to come back so much more energized. What is it? So come into my DMs or come into our comments and let me know, what are you claiming and what do you want to feel? And claim that you're going to activate that multiple times a day. Set a reminder on your phone. I use a reminder app, which is really awesome. I also have affirmations set up on that app for when I arrive or leave certain places, which is really cool. Every time I leave my house, I have certain affirmations. Every time I arrive at the gym or like a couple of specific coffee shops that I do enjoy going to frequently. Okay. For me, my primary state that I enjoy being in is joy. It's joy. I love that feeling. Being happy for no other reason other than your life. You have breath. You get to be here. And joy. So joy is one. Alignment. Bliss. Just abundance. Magnetism. So just making a list of like 3 to 6 feelings that you really desire to be in. And then like choosing from those, put it on the notes app on your phone, or you can put it in the reminder. That's what I did. I'm like, activate your feelings or something. I don't remember what it says off the top of my head. But then I have the 6 that I really desire to be in, and I choose from one of those. And I can feel which one I need. I'm like, yep, I need to reactivate this. And it's not that we are bypassing when we're going through it. It's not that we're not going to have the human experience where we're going to get pissed or we're going to feel some sensation of like anxiety or overwhelm. We're like, you're having a human experience. And also, it's an opportunity to choose how you desire to feel as you are working through what it is that you're going through. And hear me when I say I have been through, like over the past 2 or 3 years, I have been through some crazy ass shit. And it has been an intentional decision to, one, get support, right? But the other thing is to ensure that I'm taking care of me first. And I am choosing the state that I desire to be in and embodying it. So come into the comments or sign to my DMs. Let me know which one of these resonated the most. Go listen to day 1 if you're like, some of these things you're like, what is she talking about? Go listen. So fire. Sacred Whisper podcast for the day 1 of 3 or on my Instagram. And also join us for our free masterclass on Tuesday. I will put the link in the show notes. You can sign up for free. We're going to hop on Zoom and we're going to have a conversation around some of these. We're going to deepen your embodiment and the experience. We're going to be deepening your embodiment as well as activating this energy of feeling soul alive. dropping even deeper into the essence of who it is that you desire to be and how it is that you are feeling to show up in the world to be able to support you in taking aligned actions moving forward. So, link is in my bio and in the show notes. Go get signed up. Even if you're like, crap, I can't make that time, still sign up for it because then I'll send you the replay and then you can have that as well. And the other thing is like, if you're ready to drop into deeper embodiment and the essence that you know that you are here to be, the healer that you know you're here to be, and to collapse time from where you are to where you want to be in a capacity that can only be done in person, then our Embody retreat is for you. This is a retreat where the intention and the theme is embody. We're going to be releasing the layers that don't serve you while stepping into the energy and the essence through very specific activities that we're doing in person of who it is that you know, the woman and the healer that you know you are here to be. So that when you go home, you are one, you go home totally different person. And two, you'll be able to step into that embodiment of you through integration, through the embodiment practices and collapse time on your desires. So DM me retreat and we'll chat even deeper about the details. It is on my certification page for Quantum Illumination Reiki, which is in the show notes as well as in the link in my bio for if you're watching on Instagram. You can go check that out. It's like mid-page. And then slide into my DMs and let's chat. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you on day 3 as well. Bye.